can't even get in, but they'll get in eventually. We appreciate it. New York's finest. Hello, New York City, and hello to all of the incredible, tough, strong, hardworking American patriots right here in the Bronx. Who would think? Who would think?
Boogie down,
Bronx. To be back in the city I grew up in, the city I spent my life in, the city I helped build, and the city that we all love, New York City. And I'm here tonight to declare that we are going to turn New York City around, and we are going to turn it around very, very quickly.
Amen.
We're going to bring safety back to our streets. We're going to bring success back to our schools. We're going to bring prosperity back to every neighborhood and every borough of the greatest city in our land. We're going to reduce taxes. We're going to bring businesses and big taxpayers back to New York. Gotta bring them back. Gotta bring them back. And we're going to make New York bigger, better, and more beautiful than ever before. And that includes right here in the Bronx. And it's going to be done and funded starting on January 20th, directly from our great and beautiful White House. Is that okay?
Yes.
For my whole life, I always thought that this city is a monumental testament to the power of the American spirit and the American dream. When New York started as a small, rugged Dutch trading post near the tip of Manhattan in 1624, what you see around you is nothing more than wilderness and marsh. But by the muscle and backbone and genius of the people of New York, we built the city into the towering forest of iron, aluminum, concrete, and steel. We made this city and state into the cap.
All right. I'm gonna bring you guys more, but I wanted to start out tonight with Trump in New York City, and he is not lying. I mean, nobody is more New York than Donald Trump. We've seen it in the movie theaters, in the movies. We've seen him in real estate. I mean, nobody out of all these candidates that probably have ever run is more New York than Donald Trump. And he showed up and showed out in the Bronx on Thursday night. Good evening, everyone. I'm KJ, and this is the 8:30 show. The 8:30 show is your space for biblical clarity on news and pop culture. And tonight I am talking about why Christians need to vote for Trump. And this broadcast is not going to be what you think it is. Okay, so precursor there. But I want to start out with him in the Bronx. He was at a rally that drew over 10,000 attendees in blue New York City, the Bronx. Law enforcement sources told the New York Post this today. The Thursday night rally was held in the Crotona Park, which had a permit allowance of only 3,500 people. Thousands of Trump supporters were lined up by the security gates for hours, hoping to catch a glimpse of the 45th president, making his first New York City rally appearance since 2016. Guys, remember, he was just in New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore, and drew thousands, another really blue state. Okay, attendees were being let into the event until the very last moments of Trump's speech. Okay, the rally, although not as large as his Wildwood, New Jersey gathering 2 weeks ago, was supposed to be to show the former commander-in-chief isn't afraid to show up and show out for traditionally Democratic voting areas. I mean, this guy, we're not seeing this with Biden. You know, Biden is afraid to actually answer questions from his propagandist mainstream media. He would never do something like this. This show up for the crowd, talking on hours on end, and just presenting himself. This is what you see, what you get, and really able to command a crowd like this. No way, no how Biden could do this. But this isn't what I want to talk. I want to talk about this. I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to get to a little bit later on why it is important for Christians to choose Trump. But I want to get into this. I mean, guys, this is amazing what he was able to do here in New York City. I mean, this is amazing. And of course, the left was, I mean, totally upset about it. I mean, they were crazy upset about what he was able to do here in New York City. And I want to start out with the governor of New York State, Kathy Hochul. As I mentioned, thousands turned out in the South Bronx. And despite leading with the headline, Trump bombs the Bronx, Axios acknowledged, along with other mainstream medias, that the sight of Trump speaking to several thousand people in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood in deep blue New York is a sign of the realignment happening between the two parties. And so, but of course, this drove them crazy. And so Kathy Hochul was on with Jake Tapper and had this to say. I want you guys to take a look here. They hate this. They are just, itching mad about this. Take a look at this interview just quickly and what she had to say about the turnout. Of course, they go to calling people names.
Well, I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump for president. We know him better than anyone, and that means we understand what he's all about is just for himself. So this state will go solidly behind Joe Biden for president, as it has in the past. So he wants to spend his time doing these made-up fake rallies and pretending their support here. Be my guest.
So, of course, she is, they're all upset. I mean, liberal media has gone totally crazy over this, what has gone on here. She called them clowns. And the crazy thing about it is, and media has announced this and has corroborated that there wasn't people that Trump brought out. These were actually people that live in the Bronx. People live. These were her New Yorkers came out in droves, and they wanted to see President Trump, and they just can't believe it. Even CNN agreed with that. Let me see here. I believe I have a clip there of them talking about it.
What kind of response did he get?
1 second.
What was the crowd like?
I mean, they're in awe as to what has gone on here. Take a look at this.
What response did he get?
Well, certainly a bigger crowd than I think Democrats would like to see, particularly given this is one of the bluest counties in the entire country. Now, one of the things that was interesting to me is that the Trump campaign said that they were going to micro-target to get people from the community to come to this rally. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've gone to a lot of these rallies across the country, and there are often people who travel hundreds of miles to see Donald Trump, and they're not necessarily part of the community. However, one of the things that I found was that there were a lot of people here that were actually from the Bronx. Before we even came into the rally, so that, of course, once we were in, it was all people supporting him. Before we actually even came in, we talked to a number of people outside in the community, and the reaction to him being here was really mixed. You had people saying he doesn't belong here, he should get out, but you also had a number of people, voters, who told me that they had supported Biden in 2020. They were very unhappy, particularly with the state of the economy, and they were looking for alternatives, namely former President Donald Trump Anderson.
Wow. So there you see it. You saw it, right? He didn't know what to say. He's sitting there like, what is going on? What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. People are waking up. Their pockets are, totally empty. We're seeing everything is about race, black, white. Everything is pushed on us about, it's so divisive now under Biden. They're sexualizing our kids, and people are like, we don't want this. And, this isn't, I don't think many people are as enthusiastic as we would like to see them when voting for president, but they want to get Biden out. The man, every time you see him, he can't answer questions. He can barely walk. And he's not presidential. He doesn't have a control, our state under control. We're in wars now. They're sending billions and trillions of dollars overseas. This has got to stop. And everyday Americans see this. And guess what? Those people that went out to the Bronx, they aren't millionaires. They aren't people making six-figure incomes. These are everyday middle-class families, people who just want their economy back. They just want their children to go to school and not be sexualized, not have to worry about their girls competing with biological boys in sports. I mean, this is crazy. It's not crazy, but they don't believe it. They cannot believe what is happening. And I pray to God it really is happening. And these turnouts in these blue areas translate to votes. So I want to start out. I want to talk about why it's important, like I mentioned, for us to vote for, as Christians, I should say, to vote for Trump. And so that's what I really wanted to come on here tonight and talk about, because we still see, especially in the Black community, Black Christians are still, I don't know if the message is resonating with that community, my community. I'm Black and I'm a Christian, to vote for Trump. I don't know if it's resonating, and I don't understand why it's not. So first off, I want to say that when it comes to bringing about moral and cultural change in America, I do not look to a political party. I don't. I know that they are what they are. They are political parties. However, I do vote. I'm not one, that says I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to participate in the democratic process. That's something that I am going to do, and I've always done. I value my vote. I understand that, it's important to vote, and I am going to vote. Am I excited about these candidates? I mean, I am a Trump supporter, but I'm not super excited. You guys may not know, I supported DeSantis when he initially ran. I am going to vote for Trump, but I do understand. I understand why there are people out there who are not totally excited about either candidate. I understand that. And so, especially Christians, because one, we have seen the, some of the comments that Trump has made in the past. People don't love some of the things he says, in his past, as far as his personal life. Also, we have the whole January 6th and things like that. I get it. And then I certainly understand why, but I don't understand why still the large amount of Christians that will still vote for Biden and the Democrat Party. And there are a couple of things why I think this is problematic based off of biblical in our Christianity. One is abortion, of course, but it's not what you think it is. I'm going to talk about that. I also want to talk about how this Democrat Party led by Biden, full steam ahead, are pushing sexualization of children. And then also larger and broader government restrictions on parental rights. We're seeing that, all over the country. They are trying to weaken parental rights. They are also, Biden himself has a large hand in redefining the family unit. And that's something government shouldn't be involved in, but he is. And the indoctrination of children through education. We've seen that, and I'm going to give you examples of that. And then lastly, the anti-God agenda that threatens our religious freedoms. And guys, this is real. This is real. And this is scary. And so I want to talk about all those things and how they are anti-God and how we absolutely should not support this liberal agenda. We shouldn't. So I want to talk about, firstly, the idea of the the way that the anti-God and the threat to religious freedom under Biden and the Democrats. Firstly, I want to encourage you all to go out and read the Democrat agenda platform. Read it. Read it. First, if just one read of that, I don't see how any self-proclaimed Christian, self-proclaimed Bible believer could vote for anyone in that party. Okay. That's number one. And I'm not going to go through the whole platform. I'll do that on another broadcast, but certainly you need to go and you need to read it. But more importantly is another important part of what they're doing is against our religious freedom. And one thing is Biden's Title IX rules. Now, I know you guys have they made this known a couple of weeks ago. The overhaul or change to Title IX. And basically, it's a threat on religious liberty for thousands of people in schools and on campuses. And so, this is a real threat. The Biden administration's new rule puts thousands of students and teachers with religious beliefs that disagree with the left's definitions of sex and gender at risk. First Liberty and this is an organization, First Liberty, has been on the forefront at combating this crap, but they got a long way to go. These rules go into effect in August. So under the new rules, which again apply to colleges, elementary schools, high schools that receive federal funding, sex discrimination will include discrimination based on both gender identity and sexual orientation. Schools will not be able to differentiate by sex except in limited circumstances. So basically, this will allow people to use the locker rooms and bathrooms of their choosing, regardless of biological sex. If your daughter's in kindergarten starting in August or the new year, whether they may go back after Labor Day, and there is a boy in class that identifies as a girl, your daughter will be seeing his penis. Okay? They will be in the same bathrooms. Additionally, LGBTQ plus students who face discrimination can now seek recourse from the federal government if they do not feel it was dealt with in an appropriate way at the school level. So you will be using pronouns now. So, before we tried to say, that's not something out. No, you will use pronouns. And if you don't, you will risk circumstances. Your kids may be thrown out of school. There may even be some type of civil recourse in regards to this. So this is what a vote for Biden does. And I don't know about you all, but that goes against my religious beliefs. But this is what they're doing. This is what they're pushing. And so, again, whether you have your own issues with Trump, religious freedom will not be bothered with a Trump presidency. Under Biden, it will. And you guys, this is major. This is major. So again, also the idea of abortion. What these Democrats, I'm pro-life. I'm against abortion. But I do know people, do know there's a large portion of the country that, may not be pro-life. They may be a support of abortion up to, a couple of weeks or so, or what Roe initially was in what they were talking about. But the Biden's abortion is it's much further advanced than what most of the country believes in. First of all, I encourage you to Google or search Biden's stance on abortion. He has no limits. So they're talking about abortion in the third trimester and beyond, without any limits. And if you think people don't want to do that, you better think again. There are sick people out here who will abort a 9-month-old baby, okay? And you go and do your research yourself, but he has been asked time and time again, what is the guardrail or what is the extent of his abortion stance, and he fails to do it. He will not put any limitations on this. So it's already a kick in the gut to understand or see that our money, our tax dollars will go towards paying for people to kill their babies in the womb. But I mean, and again, there's really no justification for it. But some people say, okay, well, if it's early enough and the woman decides she doesn't want this child, she's pregnant, she doesn't want it early enough, they are okay with it. Well, are you okay with a 6-month baby being aborted? A 6-month pregnant woman pregnant with 6 months and aborting the baby? Are you okay with 9 months? I mean, and then when you really think about it, and I know some of you think this is a stretch, it's really not. If you are willing to abort a baby in the womb or within gestation that is almost full term, it will easily go to something. Well, I can't afford this child. I just had the baby. They're only a week old, and I can't afford them. Let's put the baby to sleep. This is coming. And I say this because it's the same reasoning. They'll say, oh, well, I'm the baby. I haven't had the child yet, but I'm 12 weeks pregnant or whatever, and I can't afford a baby. I can't afford a baby, and it's no way to abort it. Well, same thing goes a week old out of the womb, 2 weeks old. Where do we draw the line? Biden is not drawing the line. So look into that. That's something you certainly need to look into. And yes, his past birth. I know. So certainly look into that. Well, yeah, it does happen. I suggest you research or do a Google search on shout your abortion. Shout your abortion. People are doing this. And if they're not, why can't he say there's going to be a limitation? Why can't he say it? If people aren't doing it, then why doesn't he say it? Because he's not putting a limitation on it, because people are doing it and they will do it. So again, definitely look into that. Also, I want to talk about this idea of larger and broader government that restricts parental rights. I mean, this is becoming a major issue, especially on the West Coast in California. I believe there was a case in Washington State, where parents are getting their rights taken away because they are not affirming a child's gender. And we're seeing more and more cases of that. And it's scary because you're thinking that you have full control over your child. And because you don't agree with the state's way of parenting, they are taking your children away. This happened in California. And now California has a law where your child can be taken to their state to have sex change surgeries and things like that without parental consent. This is happening. So, this is what's going on, and it's scary stuff. And so this is what we have to contend with under a Biden presidency. And this is not biblical. This goes against Christianity on all accounts. Not only that, but their attack on the family. The Democrat Party is leaning more and more towards Marxism. And number one, in Marxism, the God of the Bible, well, actually, Karl Marx was quoted in saying, communism begins where atheism begins. So they are anti-God, anti-Bible. They believe the God of the Bible and none other is God. Well, I believe that the God of the Bible and none other is God, and we are to acknowledge and revere him and him only. But communism and Marxism, which has been unfortunately embraced by the Democrat Party, they don't want us practicing our religious beliefs, because They want a large government. They want government to become God. And in that, with that, they cannot have us worshiping our God. So whether you're Christian, whether you're Islam, Muslim, Jewish, Judaism, it's all the same. They don't want you focused on God. They don't want you practicing God. And we have seen over the last several years a crackdown on religious freedom. Just here in Maryland, in a suburb of DC, actually, but it is in Maryland, Prince George's County, there is a large faction of Muslim people who have brought a case against the education system there because they are not allowing parents to opt out their kids from LGBT education. So again, they're not even saying, you don't have to, they don't want you to teach it. They're saying not only the education system is saying, not only will we teach it, but you cannot opt out. And in this situation, it's not Christians who are pushing back as much. I mean, I think there's some Christians, but there are Muslims who are pushing back against this. And so again, how can you say, public school system, which are now government schools, are saying that my child cannot opt out of this because I don't agree with it because it goes against my religious beliefs, and they won't allow them to opt out. So again, and this is being pushed by the Biden administration. This is what their education department, they push this. And if he gets back into office, it will be a mandate. He will consider this a mandate and go above and beyond what he has already done. So get ready. Okay. So again, guys, this stuff is very important. Again, the idea of defining a family. We saw recently with the guy Harrison Butker, the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. All he did as a Catholic was go on and talk about his Catholic beliefs and how men and women have certain roles designed by God. And the leftist media went crazy. He wasn't even talking about this on the football field. He was not talking about this in an arena. He was talking about this at a Catholic school at in his commencement speech. And they went crazy. And this is coming right down from Biden. He goes out here and he says he's Catholic, and he says he's at an abortion clinic doing this thing what the Catholics do. So the man has lost it. I don't even think he knows whether he's coming and going. He's being puppeted around by ultra leftists in the White House. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just taking orders. He is just taking orders. And this is what we're talking about. This is what I'm talking about with another presidency. So this stuff is anti-Bible. It's anti-Christian. And we must push back against it. And again, I really don't understand how any person, any Bible believer can justify voting for Biden. I would almost say don't vote. If it hurts you so much to vote for Trump, or well, I'll say, if it hurts you so much to vote for Trump, I would tell you not to vote. I wouldn't even go that far, because whatever you do, I would not push that lever for Biden and the ultra left Democrats. I just don't know how you can do it. I just don't know how. And again, I mean, with this Title IX redefining and things like that, that's set to go in effect in August. I mean, we have to do something to get this man out of the White House. We certainly do. And I'm praying that the large crowds Trump is drawing or has drawn in these really blue states is going to be some type of precursor, is evidence that people are waking up. I really hope this is the case. People are waking up, and I hope Christians are waking up. I'm excited that a lot of the Latino community, more and more of them are waking up to the evil and the wickedness of the Biden administration. And a lot of them are religious. So I am really thankful for that. Sad to say, I wish more Black people were doing it. But Latino for Trump is really big. There was a large Hispanic population that came out to the rally in the Bronx. I actually have that. I want to show that to you guys. Really good speech that came out from I believe the man was a Dominican American, and it was just so inspiring. Let me see if I have that for you. Okay, let's see here. I want to show you guys. His name was Ruben Diaz. Came on for Trump, and his story was just awesome. Let me see here. I have it here. One moment. All right. Here we are. I'm going to get this on for you. This was awesome. Take a look here.
As a Hispanic, I want to apologize. He's been used. He has been used to destroy you.
Talking about the judge.
But we know better than that.
In the NYC trial.
We know better than that. As a minister.
He's a minister.
President of the New York Hispanic Clergy Organization. I want to tell AOC.
Oh. Okay.
This morning, she intended to become a prophet.
Oh.
And she said, even God doesn't want Trump in the Bronx because it's going to rain. Madam Prophet AOC.
You're wrong.
You not become a false prophet.
False. You're wrong.
Look at what a beautiful day.
Yeah.
That means that not only you guys want Trump in the Bronx, because if we're going to measure that for the weather, then I would say humbly that even God wants you in the Bronx.
Oh.
And I want to close by saying, Mr. President, I want to join you in having the Bronx great again.
Oh.
Please accept this Democrat, this black Puerto Rican with a kinky hair and a broken English.
Oh.
Please accept my endorsement for you as a president. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was nice. That was really, really nice. He said, accept this Dominican with the kinky hair, Latino, please accept this endorsement. That's what I want to hear. This is an everyday guy. He's a minister. He's an everyday man, and he relates to Trump. And he just wants better for his community. He wants better for his community. And guess what? That doesn't mean government handouts. It doesn't. And I saw on the news media how they all talked about how, Trump was bad for this community because he stopped this handout and stopped. So what? Guess what? We had more money in our pockets to do what we want to do with our money. And we don't need the government handouts. Stop forcing that on us. We don't need it. They want us beholden to them. They want to get us locked on to this government handout so we won't be able to do better for ourselves. That's what this is all about. Universal income. They're trying to implement Marxist, communist governments, large government handouts to get most of us hooked on it like crack, get used to these government money, this government check, so then when they stop it, or they can make us do certain things we don't want to do. That's what it's all about. Nobody wants that. It's not good. It does not create generational wealth. We need jobs. We need opportunities to make for ourselves, to create income for ourselves. That's what we need. This is what the leftist media has always been saying. Oh, we need government this, we need government that. No, we don't. That does not help our communities. And let me tell you why. Look at the ghetto. Look at the hoods. Every hood across the country, in cities across the country, most of them are on government checks, government handouts. The communities are a mess. The schools are a mess. That government check, that government money does not help. And every year they say, oh, we need more. We need more. Baltimore City Schools is one of the most well-funded systems in the country, and it's rotten. It's the worst. They're inefficient, and then people keep throwing more money, more grants, all this type of stuff. And you know, the only thing more we get is indoctrination for the children. That's all they get. Sexualization. Now they're getting more books about same sex and butt plugs and all this type of stuff. That's the only thing. They're not doing anything more to educate these kids, or math, reading, writing, arithmetic, none of that stuff. We don't need any government handouts. Stop it. So, again, these were everyday Americans here in the Bronx. They're supporting Trump. You heard this man. He said he was a minister. He's a minister there supporting Trump. And I really hope more people get behind this man. Is he perfect? No. Is the Republican Party the answer to biblical winning over souls to Christ? No. But is this the better way to go? Their policies, most of their policies, I should say, most of their ideology, less big government, more encouragement for marriage and the family and things like that. Absolutely. And that is a hook, line, and sinker in line with biblical principles. That's it, guys. That's it. Let me see here. Kinsey 14, no Caribbean, but we have a strong Latino population as well. Oh, okay. Oh, Krista said, Kinsey, you Latino too. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, I missed it. Latinos for Trump. All right. And then Susanna left out, me too. And Krista, you too, you Latino too. Okay, I see what happened here. Yep. Hey, everybody. Hi, Krista. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. She says, my papa came from Mexico and got his citizenship by volunteering for our American Army to fight in the Korean War. He's rolling over to see this. Oh, wow. Yeah. We thank him. Thank you, Kinsey. Yes, we do. Thank him for his service. Oh, thank you, Kinsey. KJ is on fire. All right. As far as I'm concerned, every person who loves America for Trump. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, this country is being taken over. I mean, it's not the country we loved, looked at anymore. Now we have, crime is rampant. All this stuff is going on, and the Democrats aren't even doing anything about it. Again, guys, I'm here in Baltimore City, where everything is run by Democrats. And recently we had an election, so we were able to get out the former Soros-funded DA. She was very left. She was failing to prosecute crime. We at least voted her out. So we have seen a reduction in crime slightly with this new DA. But we got to get them out. We got to get them out. So this is all I have for you tonight, guys. I want to pop on here on a Friday night. I'm generally on Thursdays every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Coming to you right here on the 8:30 show. So this is a show where I talk about news and pop culture from a biblical perspective. So please check in with me here. If you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell and subscribe. So that way you always know when I go live. All right. So again, I'm here every Thursday night. Love you too, Krista. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. All of you guys, Kinsey, you guys, I also am on Pop and Politics, that channel. So if you haven't done, check that out. That we talk, that's more, we're all over the place there. We talk about news and pop culture from a conservative perspective. Here, I kind of dial in more so for a biblical perspective. But definitely check us out on Pop and Politics every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And then again, I'm here on the 8:30 channel every Thursday night. So please subscribe if you haven't done so. Please do that. And happy Memorial Day, guys. Certainly, I want to wish you all a happy Memorial Day. For those who may be visiting cemeteries, who have visiting loved ones who have passed on. I know sometimes that can be hard. So certainly my heart and prayer goes out to you for those that are dealing with that. Also for our servicemen and women who have passed on, who have died, fighting for our country. My heart and prayers go out to the families there. And then for those who are gathering with families, I know this starts off the pool season, beach season, people get barbecue and things like that. Please, I wish you well. Go out and have a good time with your family and friends on this Memorial Day weekend. Guys, family is what's going to keep this country running. There is a war on traditional family, and we see this constantly, but we have to push back against that. Use this weekend, if you're off, to get together with family and friends, eat, laugh, have a good time, because we are not, tomorrow is not promised. I know that for a fact. Tomorrow is not promised, so we have to love on our family while they are here, and friends, because you know what, friends, there are many friends that become family or like family. So get together, enjoy one another, take some flowers to the cemetery and reflect on the loved ones that have passed on. And I will see you back on here on next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Wishing you warm days and starry nights. Good night.